Back when the year 2000 was coming to a close, I started wondering what would I call the years that were about to follow. For instance, 2005, 2005, 2005, 20 and a nickel. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. That would be stupendous. So anyway, yes, today is the penultimate episode of this year's cycle of backtracks. We're in, of course, the year 2025, and so I've been doing the years ending in the number 5. Today we are taking a look at 2005. I have been having so much fun with this newfangled edition of Backtracks, completely different from the old Backtracks that my longtime viewers remember from years gone by. Yes, not only have I been able to revisit favorite albums from these years, but I've been able to pretty much every single year I've dipped my toes into something that I hadn't heard before from those years. Some were hits, some are misses, but that's been the fun of it. I never know when I'm going to discover new favorite music from these years. But anyway, yes, 20 albums on the ranked list and 5 honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and dip into my favorite albums of 2005, starting with the honorable mentions in alphabetical order by artist. First one is The Five Browns. This is a quintet of piano-playing siblings, classical piano, and these guys were amazing. My sister and I went and saw them in concert when she was up here on one of her visits, and they were dazzling. They were entertaining. They were funny in a couple places. Some of them have fun senses of humor, and I'm not sure if they're still recording or not, or if they're even still touring, playing. They are obviously grown up from what you see here, so they probably all have families of their own. Maybe some of them have found the time to pursue solo careers in performing or whatever. But for all I know, as I said, for all I know, they might still be doing things as a group. But yes, great album, and I've got let's see 4 of their albums, I think. And yes, they perform. One of the interesting things about these albums is sometimes all 5 of them are performing on some tracks. Some tracks are solo, and there's any combination in between, duos, trios. They really shake it up in as many ways as you can with a classical album. But yes, tremendously talented, and I have to say, so I've been enjoying all of their albums so far. Lots of fun. Next one, excuse me. I just started the video. My voice shouldn't be going already. Next one, I really wanted to put this on my ranked list of albums, but couldn't quite find room there. There are so many other good albums. Johnny Mathis, his 2005 album, Isn't It Romantic? The Standards album. Again, he was in top form like he always was with his albums. The title track is there. Love Is Here to Stay. There's a Kind of Hush, which I think was a Bacharach song. Cottage for Sale, Almost Like Being in Love, and 2 rainbow songs, Over the Rainbow, the song from Wizard of Oz. It's a duet with Ray Charles, so that makes it even better. And The Rainbow Connection from the Muppet movie, one of my favorite songs of all time. But yes, lots and lots of fun this album. Might have been his last really good album. One of his most recent albums, just it broke my heart that it just wasn't all that great, I have to say. But I mean, up until here and maybe one album after that, he was fantastic. And yes, he's still around and kicking, so maybe we'll get one more good album out of him. Who knows? But yes, definitely an honorable mention. Was really close to being a ranked album. Next up on my honorable mentions list, Jason Mraz, Mr. A to Z. Yes, he has, sad to say, his music has kind of lost me in recent years, but I've got his first 2 or 3 albums, maybe just his first 2. This is his sophomore album. But yes, lots of good songs on here. Oh, Please Don't Tell Her is a really good song. Geek in the Pink, Wordplay, I really enjoyed. Oh, that's right. The track listing is in opposite order. That's why it wasn't. That's why it was losing me. Life is Wonderful, the opening track. I love that one. Wordplay is great. Clock Watching, Bella Luna. I really like that one. So yeah, a very, very good album. And his third album was pretty good. Oh no, I do have that album. Yes, I can see it from here. Yes, so I have got his first three albums. After that, he kind of, as I said, kind of lost me, but still very talented, especially in his early recording years. Next up, I pretty much can't not put these guys on either the ranked list or the honorable mentions in any year that they have an album. The Ribbingtons, my favorite contemporary jazz or smooth jazz band. This is their album Wild Card, and pretty much all of their albums have some kind of a theme to them. There was one called Topaz, which had a Native American and or Southwestern theme to it. And this is one of their Latin albums. I got a lot of Latin stuff in here. Several songs are titled Latin. El Vacilón is one of them. Mulata de mi amor is another one. But there are plenty of songs with English language titles, as you can see here. But yes, Gypsy Eyes, the opening track, is a great one. Um, Paradise, I think that was one of my favorites. But yes, a very good album. In this part of their career, their more recent years, in my opinion, not quite as inventive as their earlier years, but still, they're an old favorite, and I pretty much cannot. Um, I have a complete discography of theirs, so I really can't let an album go unpurchased of theirs. Uh, the last honorable mention in my list, and again, this one I really wanted to put in the ranked list, but there's only 20 spaces. But these guys, they're called Rooster, and they don't exist anymore. They only did two albums, as far as I know. This is their debut. A great kind of a hard rock throwback act. Um, they're kind of what Led Zeppelin inspired in a good way. Than Greta Van Fleet. That's the name of the group I was trying to think of. But yes, these guys are, I think, better at the Zeppelin um, comparisons or Zeppelin inspired music than Greta Van Fleet is. But hey, yeah, check them out for yourselves if you like that kind of hard rock, slightly 60s 70s inspired hard rock. Check out Rooster. This is their debut album. Come Get Some was a good track. Staring at the Sun, a great power ballad. Deep and Meaningless, another great power ballad. But Drag the Sunrise Down, that was a fantastic closing track. Standing in Line. The whole album is great. But yes, Rooster, self-titled. Check them out, definitely. So, take a quick hydration break here. And let's go ahead and get started in on the ranked list. Number 20 on my favorite albums of 2005 is Never Gone by the Backstreet Boys. I kind of this is another group that, especially the first half of their recording career thus far, I couldn't leave them out of a countdown. I just this is one of their less wonderful albums. This is probably the album where they started kind of their downslide, but still, their singing talents, which is kind of what you go to them for, their harmonies, their voices, the way they kind of blend together, is in top form. They tried the contemporary guitar-based pop rock sound on this album rather than the more synth-based um, traditional boy band pop, and that's why this album was probably not the best received of their careers. But still, there are some plenty of good songs on here. Incomplete, the opening track, the first single. Just Want You to Know, I really enjoyed that one. Crawling Back to You is a really, really good song. My Beautiful Woman, that was it's kind of had a bit of a Latin beat to it. I really enjoyed that one. Climbing the Walls, I really like that one. Lose It All. So yes, still a very good album, even though it is at the bottom of my ranked countdown. Still enjoy it. This next one, number 19 on my list, this was an album in my sister's collection, and I don't know if it's one of my more favorite albums from her collection, but obviously, whenever I see it or listen to it, I think of her. It is Boz Scaggs with his album Fade into Light, and this is kind of a technicality because it was recorded in 1996. It just wasn't released here in the States until 2005. It's got a few covers on it. Love TKO is one of the covers. Would be hard pressed to name another cover. Was Harbor Lights a cover? I think it was, but still very good songs. I've have a mild to moderate interest in Boz Scaggs because of this album. Yes, a very good listen, and yes, he does. He's a great artist, I got to say. Um, Perhaps I will become more fond of him as the years go on, but as of now, yeah, only got up to number 19, but still an excellent album, I have to say. My number 18 favorite album of 2005, and I should have ranked this one higher, but then the competition was pretty good this year. Raul Midon with his debut album, or at least his first major label album, State of Mind. He is a guitarist, singer-songwriter with I don't know so much of a Latin. Well, I guess a little bit of a Latin. I mean, his last name is Midon, so yes, Latin, but with a little bit of jazz in his style. So very very good artist, and he is as you can tell, as is hinted at by the Braille representation of, I'm not sure if that's his name or the title of the album. He is blind, so but that, I mean, hey, doesn't have any effect on his music, and he is a fantastic artist. Absolutely. He's got Jason Mraz and Donny Hathaway on uh, guest vocals on here, as well as Stevie Wonder on a harmonica solo in one track. But yes, so many good songs. Mystery Girl, If You're Gonna Leave, that's a great one. Waited All My Life, Sitting in the Middle, which is the duet with Donny Hathaway. Sunshine, I Can Fly, and the good songs don't stop there. This is a great album. I have got 4 of his albums, I believe, and I don't intend to stop buying his albums there. So, yes, very very good artist. Check him out if you like guitar, singer songwriter, jazz with a little bit of Latin in it. Very good stuff. My number 17 favorite album of 2005 is "Move Along" by the All American Rejects, an Oklahoma-based group, which this was pretty much their breakthrough album. The title track was a big hit with them, and so was the opening track, Dirty Little Secret, and the ballad It Ends Tonight. That was another fantastic song. And Straight Jacket Feeling is another one of my favorite songs off here. Uh, Top of the World, I think, was a really good one, as I recall. And Change Your Mind. So, yes, a great album. What can I say? Um, Great indie rock sound to them. And yes, I've got all four or five of their albums, their major label albums. They haven't put out an album in quite a while. I'm not sure if they are still a thing, or if they've decided to hang it up. But still, very good album and very worthy of inclusion in my top 20 favorite albums of 2005. Excuse me. Number 16 is a bit of an unusual uh, pick, maybe, probably not for me. Brazilian Girls, the self-titled debut album by Brazilian Girls, and they're not all girls. Actually, just one of them is a girl, and I'm not even sure if they're Brazilian. But kind of like the Bare Naked Ladies thing, none of them are ladies, and they're not naked, at least not when they perform. But yes, a great multilingual album. If you like Pink Martini, check out Brazilian Girls. Except Brazilian Girls, they have a little bit more. I was going to say techno, but not really techno, but more upbeat pop rhythms in their songs than Brazilian Girls or than Pink Martini. The Pink Martini has been a bit more of a lounge, easy listening ish kind of vibe, but they both have kind of world music aspects to their sound. But yes, I am seeing 4 languages represented by just the titles of the songs on the album. So, but yeah, a great album with a great selection of songs. I've got their first 2 albums. They've put out at least 3. I've got to look for their next album that I don't have yet. But yes, yeah, "Don't Stop" is a great song. Um, Track 7 is really good. But yes, they sing in Spanish, they sing in German, they sing in French. What's not to like? But yes, Brazilian Girls, their debut album is a great, great album. Indeed, check it out, definitely. Number 15, here's one that a lot of people have probably heard of, compared with the last several that people might not have heard of. Here we have X and Y by Coldplay, my number 15 favorite album of 2005. Of course, the ballad Fix You, one of the best ballads of the entire decade, in my opinion. A wonderful, beautiful song. And then we have Talk, which has a sample from I can't remember, Kraftwerk song. And then we have Speed of Sound and plenty of other very, very good songs. Some people were not happy about this album. Some people thought it took them in a bit more of a pop direction than their previous stuff. Their previous stuff was more Britpop. But I honestly really enjoy this one. I am not so fond of the direction they've taken lately, and they've gone like really pop, and they've kind of lost me in recent years. But this one I really enjoyed. So yes, X and Y by Coldplay is number 15 in my countdown. Coming in at number 14 on my list is one of my favorite bands. I've got all of their albums so far, and this one is just right up along there. It kind of continues their winning streak of excellent albums. Better Than Ezra with their 5th album, Before the Robots. Fantastic stuff. It's Only Natural is a really, really good song. The song American Dream is possibly my favorite Better Than Ezra song. Fantastic lyrics. They are more relevant now than they ever were before. But yes, American Dream is the song to listen to on this album. But so many other good songs on here as well. A Lifetime, which A Lifetime was so good that they actually recorded it. I can't remember if this was the first or second album that it was on, but they recorded it for 2 different albums. It was that good of a song. Special. Oh, A Southern Thing. That was another really good song. But yes, a fantastic track list. Great album as well. And yes, one thing I love about Better Than Ezra is the lead vocalist, whose name escapes me at the moment. He's just got one of those distinctive voices. And yeah, can't go wrong with this album, or pretty much any Better Than Ezra album, in my opinion. My number 13 favorite album of 2005 is Speak for Yourself by Imogene Heap. Yes, this one became a smash hit for the song Hide and Seek, one of the biggest songs of the entire decade, I think. But yeah, I mean, the songs that's just where the good songs start. I mean, Hide and Seek is in the middle of the album. I'm not saying the songs before that are not good. You know, figuratively speaking, that's what I'm saying. Headlock, the opening track, is great. Clear the Area is great. Daylight Robbery. Gosh, there were a couple other songs I know that are fantastic, but yeah, definitely a great album. I've still have not picked up her sophomore album, just because I'm just afraid that it's not going to be anywhere near as good as this one. How could it be with this one being so good? But yes, Speak for Yourself by Imogene Heap is my number 13 favorite album of 2005. Fantastic stuff. Excuse me. Not sure what's up with my voice today. Number 12 on my list. This one probably would have been higher. Arguably should have been higher, as much as I love this guy. But, just what I say, that's how the album stacked up. Here we have Jamie Cullum with the album Catching Tales. This is, I think, probably my favorite album of his. I've got to say, yeah, it's just fantastic. Photograph, Mind Trick, 21st Century Kid. He does a cover of Dove's Catch the Sun, London Skies, Get Your Way, and a couple of great covers of classic pop standards like I Only Have Eyes for You and Our Day Will Come. Just a fantastic album. And he's got just a little bit of a raspiness in his voice, kind of like me right now, that just kind of gives his songs so much character. Just a great artist. Started out mainly doing covers of jazz standards, but kind of went into the jazz pop stuff. Yes, I love this guy. What can I say? I really, really enjoy his albums, and this one is right up there. Possibly my favorite Jamie Cullum album. Number 11 on my list is one that you probably have not heard of. And yeah, he's just fantastic. And when I was doing the re-listens for this album for the re-listens for this list. I hadn't listened to this album in years, and just brought back. I remembered how good it was, and could kick myself for ignoring it for several years. But anyway, Kyle Ryabko is his name, and this is his album Before I Speak, his one and only major label album. Unfortunately, it's just so fantastic. Blues, rock, pop, singer songwriter stuff, and he was only 17 when he did this album, and it is just it's mind blowing how good it is. But yes, some great, as I said, blues, rock, pop stuff. Great soulful voice, fantastic guitar playing. Do You Right? What Did I Get Myself Into is a great song. Misbehavin' is fantastic. Before I Speak, the title track is amazing. Paranoid, I love that song. Paranoid is possibly my favorite song on the album. One of the lyrics is, "My life is a twister, so bear with me, sister." That ought to tell you how good this guy is. Um, Chemistry is a really good song. Teach Me. But yeah, I mean, the whole track listing is just fantastic. And I think it was just lack of promotion that caused him to never put out another major label studio album, which is one of the biggest crimes in the world of music, in my opinion. You've just got to, if you see this album in the thrift store or wherever, pick it up and listen to it. Do yourself a favor, especially if you love that pop rock with a little bit of blues in it. He's just fantastic. He's gone on to support other bands and other artists over the years, and he's gone and done some acting, some a little bit of TV acting and stuff, but he's done some stage work, some theater, some musical theater, appropriately enough. And yeah, this was kind of his height, his peak of recording artistry fame. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful album. Just edged out of the top 10 in my list, but and for good reason. So, speaking of which, now we're into the top 10, as you can see by a little sticky note, so I don't lose my place. Number 10 on my list. This is just as much for the music as it is for the person who introduced me to it. He was a childhood friend that I lost touch with for many, many years and reconnected with. Found out that this was one of his favorite, or this was his favorite artist of all time. And, within a few years, he had passed away, sadly. So, Jeremy, this is for you. The Chemical Brothers, with their album Push the Button, is my number 10 favorite album of 2005. The title track is being featured in car commercials right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Whenever artists sell or have their music sold for advertising, I'm not crazy about. But anyway, and that's just the beginning of the great songs on this album. I mean, it's just a great album, a great artist. I've also got their 2-disc greatest hits collection. Um, I'll have to say it's not my favorite kind of music, but I can see what Jeremy loved about these guys. Just they're catchy. I mean, they've got the really kind of techno-ish, yeah, I guess you'd say techno kind of stuff, but they definitely put the hooks in there as well. But yes, Push the Button, my favorite Chemical Brothers song, definitely, and this might be my favorite album of theirs too. But yes, excellent, excellent stuff. Chemical Brothers, Push the Button, my number 10 favorite album of 2005. Number 9. A few years ago, this would have been way higher on my list. This would have been well within the top 5. But, your tastes change a little bit over the years and kind of evolve. And that's what happened in this case. But I still love this album. My favorite album by Ben Lee. It's called Awake is the New Sleep. And I believe this may have been his biggest chart success as well. But this album is just packed with good songs. Gamble Everything for Love is an excellent, excellent song. Catch My Disease is fantastic. Into the Dark. We're all in this together is another great one. I mean, and that's those are just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, as I said, my favorite Ben Lee album. He got a little bit too out there with a couple of his recent albums, so he kind of lost me after not long after this. But his subsequent album, which I think is called Ripe, was also really good. And I've got like four albums of his, and but this is, in my opinion, the best. Awake is the New Sleep by Ben Lee, my number 9 favorite album. Singer songwriter pop, maybe slightly dips into the art pop realm. Yeah. Number 8 on my list is yeah, I was debating for a second whether or not I wanted to switch this one and number 7 at the last minute, but no, I'm going to stick with this ranking. Again, an artist that should be way higher on my list. They are my favorite artist, one of my favorite artists from the 80s. But yeah, still, as I said, too much good competition for 2005. Duran Duran with their album Astronaut. This was the album where they reunited. The 5 original members of the band all reunited for the first time in like 20 years for this album. Excellent stuff. And being that they are the original lineup, they kind of harken back to their classic original sound. Really, really love this album. I look at some of these and wonder, why isn't this one higher? But I have faith in my countdown for once. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, yeah, in my opinion, yes, this one stands up with their classic '80s albums. Yeah, after the '80s, they took a little bit of a dip, but this one is they definitely kind of came back up to um, maybe not to that same level, but very, very, very close to it with the album Astronaut. Reach Up for the Sunrise, fantastic track. The title track is good. Oh, there was another really good song on here, which I cannot remember. Bedroom Toys, that was all right. Taste the Summer, I think, was really good. Finest Hour, What Happens Tomorrow. So, yes, a fantastic array of songs, fantastic album. Definitely check this one out if you are curious about Duran Duran. It's a good album to check out. Now, number 7. This is another one that probably would have been higher. Could have been higher? Should have been higher? No, probably not on my list. But, well, let me tell you what it is first. Jukebox by Bent Fabric. Now, Bent Fabric was, at the point of this album, he was in his 80s, and he was a Danish or Dutch, I can't remember. Danish, I think, jazz pianist. And he had had a great career back in like the 60s, 70s. He did a song called Alley Cat, which was a jazz standard, a all-time famous jazz standard, and there is a version of it on this album. But yes, what this album is his songs reimagined, remixed, vocals added to a lot of them. So this is, as the title kind of implies, Jukebox. This is a party album. You put this album on at a party, it's going to bump up there. That's just fantastic stuff. Um, I'm kind of glad that this was my introduction to Bent Fabric, because if I had become too familiar with his early stuff, this probably would have turned me off. But I think it's executed fantastically. And yes, the only reason this album isn't higher is because this is kind of it's a jukebox album, so to speak. Just kind of, it's not really connected, not really cohesive. Not that all the songs on it aren't great, and that it doesn't have a kind of a sustained mood. It's a party album, as I said. But yeah, you put this on in the background of a party, it'll probably notch the party up a little bit. But yeah, like 4 or 5 different vocalists appear on this album, and yes, Bent Fabric's piano lines are kind of at the core, at the foundation of the songs, but they're dressed up with modern beats, modern production, and stuff, modern flourishes. So, but they do have. Do they have? Oh yes, the classic version of Alley Cat is on there. So if you want to hear what the fuss about Bent Fabric was, that song will be on here for you to hear. But one of my favorite tracks on here is actually an instrumental called Blowout. That's wonderful. But yes, just so many good songs on here. Bam Boogie is the opening track. Now, there are international versions and the US version. The track listing is pretty much the same on the international versions, but it's kind of shuffled around. So Bam Boogie is the opening track on the US version, not necessarily on the international versions. But yeah, Haven't You Noticed is a great song. Shake is another one. If It Feels Like Love, Relax Boy, Keep on Rising. I mean, the entire track listing. I'm basically naming the entire track listing here. So yes, fantastic album. Love it. And the irony is, I may not have as much to say about the albums further up in my ranking than that one. But what can I say? Moving on. Number 6 on my list is an artist I've mentioned a few times lately, and I just grown to love her so much. I became aware of her with my sister's CD collection, which I inherited. Had her first album in it, Salt, and this is, I believe, her sophomore album, Dreaming Wide Awake. Liz Wright is my 6th favorite album of 2005. Absolutely love her. She's just got a great, uh, slightly smoky jazz soul voice. Wonderful, wonderful artist. You've got to check her out. She has a couple of tracks on here. A Taste of Honey, the a vocal version of the song by that Herb Alpert made famous. And then what's the other one? Oh, Get Together, the classic 60s song. Hey, come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. She does a cover of that one. And I mean, the original songs are just leaps and bounds also. So yes, just fantastic album. I've got 4 of Liz Wright's albums. Just, as I said, Salt, her debut album, was in my sister's collection. Fell in love with it, and been buying her albums from there. Just and it's like every time I listen to her, she gets a little bit better and a little bit better. Wake Up Little Sparrow is another great song. I'm Confessin', and I think that might be a cover as well. Without You, When I Close My Eyes, the title track, Dreaming Wide Awake. A stellar, stellar album. If you love female jazz soul vocals, check out Liz Wright. You will not be disappointed. Now, top 5 time. This one you might remember from actually from Backtracks. It's a previous iteration. This was one of my Spotlight albums. Turned out to be one of my favorite albums of that year, and I've since picked it up on CD as well. It is Chavez Ravine by Ry Cooder. Love this album. And I mean, obviously, I've been aware of Ry Cooder because he's in a couple of soundtracks. He's been doing music since what, the 70s, 60s. But this album I had not heard about, not been aware of really until I was gearing up to do my must have been my 20. I can't remember what year it was, but Backtracks was looking for a vinyl record to listen to that I hadn't listened to before. And this one caught my eye, caught my attention, because it is a concept album about Chavez Ravine, which is an area in Los Angeles that is now familiar with for being the place where Dodger Stadium now stands. Before Dodger Stadium was built, Chavez Ravine was a thriving Latin American community. And yes, good old Los Angeles decided to take eminent domain, seize the Chavez Ravine area, move everybody out, and build a nice big fancy baseball stadium there. So I used to love the Dodgers. My father took me and my brother to 4 or 5 Dodger games every year when I was a kid growing up down there in LA. So it has a connection to me in that respect. I enjoyed baseball, not nearly so much now as I did back then, and now knowing the story of Chavez Ravine and Dodger Stadium, I don't think I could step foot in Dodger Stadium again. But still, this is a fantastic album. And it is very immersive. It definitely, it's one that you have to give more than one listen to, but this is beautiful. Third Base Dodger Stadium is one of the songs, and it talks about what a person, the person who used to live there, but then went to a Dodger game, or maybe it was somebody who actually worked at Dodger Stadium. While they're watching a game, they're seeing, things that happened at, a certain thing that used to happen at the spot where third base sits in Dodger Stadium now is, a spot where he's got certain memories that are tied to, just the entire album is filled with that kind of stuff. Just as I said, it's just beyond description. The album is beautiful. As I said, it was one of my favorite albums from that year back in my channel. Continues to be one of my favorite albums, obviously. My number 5 favorite. And thinking about it now, maybe I should have ranked it higher, but that's where it is. I got to keep going here. I don't want to make the video too long. Number 4 on my list of my favorite albums of 2005. I've mentioned this artist and probably this album before, Nellie McKay. It's spelled McKay, but it's actually pronounced Mackay, with her album Get Away From Me. The title is a kind of a poke at Nora Jones' album Come Away With Me. And this is, Nellie McKay is kind of a spitfire. Great socio-political satire and razor sharp humor in a lot of these songs. And she backs it up with a great voice and great songwriting. And yes, this is, here's how ballsy she was. She insisted that her debut album be a 2-disc set. This is the dual disc version, so both discs of the regular version are on the CD side of this album, and it's got some DVD content on the flip side. But yes, she. I don't know how much of a hit this was, but she's put out several albums since then, and I've got 3 or 4 of her subsequent albums. But yes, she's just so great. She talks about really socio-political issues in this album, and then she talks about some silly stuff like walking her dog. The dog song is one of the songs on here. Cloney is a song where she talks about there was the cloning, experimental cloning was in the news back when this album was done, so that she decided to put in her 2 cents about the possibilities and pitfalls of cloning. Sorry, which is, she uses it as the English word sorry, but as you can see, it is pronounced, or is spelled Sari. So yes, a bit of a cultural commentary on that song. And then I Want to Get Married. That is a very, very, very biting satirical song about women being only being good for getting married. That's like only their only purpose in life and stuff. She has something to say about that too. So yes, It's a Pose has to do with masculinity, toxic and otherwise. Won't You Please Be Nice is, but possibly overenthusiastic. A woman who's overly enthusiastic about her male companion. Let's just say that. But anyway, I could go on. You get the idea, basically, of how clever she is with her songwriting, and she's talented. She sings, she raps. She's the original hype sticker said something about a cross between Doris Day and Eminem, and I wouldn't that's not an out of place characterization, but yeah, if you like unusual stuff with some socio-political satire, some bite to it, some humor, check out Nellie McKay. She's great. Number 3 on my list. Actually, let me take a quick drink again. My throat is just. Number 3 on my list. And here's another kind of an unusual one. But I picked this one up from the BMG, actually the final stages of the BMG Music Club, I think, when they were called yourmusic.com. And it was a queue service, kind of like Netflix used to be with their DVDs. You'd put CDs in the queue, and they would send you the next one in your queue every month, and you'd pay $6.99. And so I would just, fill up my queue with stuff that I wanted, stuff that looked interesting. This was one of the ones that looked interesting, and I just fell in love with it and have enjoyed it, loved it ever since. Ryan Shoup and the Rubber Band with their album Dream Big. And this is in a green tinted jewel case. By the way, this is not how it originally shows up. It's just, I had some tinted jewel cases to put this in. But yes, a combination of bluegrass and pop rock, as you can kind of see by the instrumentation here. But yes, Banjo Boy is the opening track. It's about him hoping to seek fame and glory. His only problem is he plays the banjo. That's kind of the tag of the song. Very fun, clever song. Even Superman is another great one. The title track, Dream Big. Simplify, I love that one as well. Never Give Up is a really good inspirational song. So, that's like half the track list right there. But yes, I just absolutely love this album. Had no idea who Ryan Shoup and the Rubber Band were when I put this in my queue. And as it turns out, it was just a winner. It just completely won me over. But yeah, I would strongly suggest picking this one up if you ever see it, checking it out. Tremendously entertaining and really, really clever stuff. Lots of fun in that one. Okay, now my runner-up for a favorite album of 2005. I'm sure I've mentioned this guy in my videos before. Don't know if you've been here to hear me mention him. Teddy Thompson, and this is his second or third album, Separate Ways. Brain fart. Yes, he is the son of Richard and Linda Thompson, but I really don't have. I have like one Richard Thompson album, but it's Teddy Thompson that kind of he won me over on his own merits. Let's just say, and this is probably his best album. Just an excellent bunch of songs. Lots of humor, self-deprecating humor, satirical humor, slightly satirical. But yeah, I Should Get Up. It's a great song about trying to fight chronic laziness. Everybody Move It is a great song. Altered State is a fantastic one. You Made It is a great song. Think Again, the title track, Separate Ways. I just absolutely love this song. How to categorize it? Singer songwriter, pop rock with a little bit of an Americana feel, roots rock a bit. He's British, so it can't really be British. It can't really be Americana since he's British. But you get the idea. But yes, an excellent album. I would definitely suggest trying it out if you have not. If you ever happen upon it in the store, give it a shot, and yeah, or stream it. I think you'll like what you hear. But yes, fantastic. He actually has duetted with Rufus Wainwright a couple of times, and that's how I found out about Teddy Thompson. Was that he had made a couple appearances on Rufus Wainwright albums, and little did I realize what an amazing artist he is all by himself. But yes, I've got 4 or 5 of his albums, and he is fantastic. What can I say? He's my number 2 favorite artist of 2005, or favorite album. But here we are at my number 1 favorite album of 2005. This pretty much was number 1 right when I started conceiving the list. Teddy Thompson came close to overcoming him, but in the end, McFly won out with the number 1 slot with their album Wonderland, their sophomore album. Absolutely love these guys. You know, British viewers know who McFly is. They're familiar with him. Americans, not so much. McFly tried to break into the American market with no success, very limited success. But these guys they draw some comparisons to the Beatles. They're not nearly as good as the Beatles, but they kind of had that same feel to their music. And in my opinion, their songwriting is almost as clever and as wonderful and as natural as the Beatles. But yes, some great stuff. Their first album was Room on the Third Floor, was much more silly, fun, kind of like the Beatles' first albums, just kind of silly fun, madcap. This album, they kind of went a little bit more serious with their songwriting, kind of matured a little bit, and I think it did them well. I mean, in my opinion, I think this is their. Don't know if this is my favorite album of theirs. It might be my second favorite, but still, some fantastic songs on here. Let's see. I Want to Hold You is a great power ballad. All About You is a fantastic. That's a straight up ballad. Don't Know Why is wonderful. I've Got You, I'll Be Okay, Ultraviolet. I mean, you just listen to the songs. You'll see what I mean by they have a gift for songwriting, definitely. Yeah, not quite Beatles-esque, but or not quite as good as the Beatles, but in my opinion, they're up there, just about. But yes, McFly with their sophomore album Wonderland definitely takes the trophy for my number 1 favorite album of 2005, and for darn good reason. Just love that album. So, what do you think of this list? Yeah, I like it. What can I say? Don't know what else to say from that. But yes, stay tuned. The final video for the 2025 cycle of backtracks, my 2015 favorite albums, will be coming up in the next month or so. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comments section. I'd love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And remember, life's too short to be a music snob.